Mag-off ka, ano mo?
Good morning po. Good morning po, Sir Nilo.
Baka ako naka-mute si sir.
Good morning.
Good morning po.
Hello, good morning.
Hello
Good morning
po,
po.
sir. Good morning po.
Okay. So thank you. I was thinking that I am still muted, no? Okay, good morning, everyone. And of course, to our very own University President, Mama Feli Jacoba. And of course, my partners in DepEd Nueva Ecija, Sir Joel and Sir Edgar Domingo, our SDS. And to all of the NUST community, and of course to our partner, the AMDOCS. Good morning po sa ating lahat, and the same goes to our wala akong Sir Joel. Okay, so sorry about that. Thank you.
We can just see your pictures. Yeah. Ayan, sir. Thank you.
Okay na, Sir
Yes,
Joel.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so thank you. Pasensya na po doon. Okay po. Oo nga, hindi nga pala ako kaya pala hinahanap yung sarili ko kanina. Hindi ko makita. Akala ko it's Sir Joel's fault. Alam niyo po, kailangan namin sa DepEd ito mga ganito. Kaya yung pagpapasalamat namin ay palagay ko hindi matatapos eh. Bakit namin kailangan sa DepEd ito? Marami po kaming programa sa DepEd. Mayroon kami mga special programs, particularly in science and in
Sir Ronilo, naka-mute po kayo, sir. Sir Ronilo, naka-mute po. Naki-unmute lang po. Ayan. Okay na po.
Unang-una po ay hindi maintindihan namin na lalo na mga kasama namin. Ano ba yung importansya ng research? Gaano ba kahalaga ang research sa buhay ng mga mag-aaral, sa buhay ng mga guro, and not only in the lives of our teachers, in the lives of our learners. Alam mo naman natin na kailangan ito ng buong mundo ngayon, lalo na ngayon. Ang iba't ibang bansa nagkakarera sa buwan, nagkakarera diyan sa pagmomonitor sa araw, nagkakarera sa pagpunta sa Mars, pinungunahan nitong si Mr. X na tinanggal niya na yung ibon sa Twitter, hindi na Twitter, siya ay X na. So, ang buong mundo, lahat ng klase ng lipunan ay diyan patungo. And alam naman natin at alam din marahil ng mga kasamahan kong guro sa DepEd Nueva Ecija na ang research ay nang umpisa ito doon sa ating mga pangailangan. This comes from the very need of our learners, our environment, and our own selves. And
Naka-mute po ulit kayo, Sir Ronilo. Muted. Naka-mute po kayo, sir.
bakit ako na mute ay I'm not holding anything. Baka minumute mo ko eh.
No.
Sinasabotahe ko ni Sir Joel.
Hindi po.
Ma'am Katie, Sir Joel is sabotaging me.
Obviously, that was the obvious conclusion, but I was too polite to say anything.
Sir Ronilo. I think there's a technical problem with the connection of Sir Ronilo. I wonder also why he was muted several times. No? But anyway, in behalf of our schools division superintendent, Engineer Edgar C. Domingo, and our assistant schools division superintendents, Sir Ronilo Hilario, and Ma'am Mina Gracia Acosta, we'd like to thank Amdocs Philippines and of course Globe Philippines. You've been so very generous to assist our learners and teachers at DepEd Nueva Ecija. So we would like to thank you for all the blessings that you have been giving to our learners and teachers. God bless everyone.
Thank you po. Thank you po, Sir Joel, and especially Sir Ronilo E. Hilario. Maraming salamat po. At this juncture, we will be hearing another inspirational message coming from a man who has achieved so much, yet continues to inspire us all with his words and actions. A remarkable man who embodies the qualities of intelligence and responsibility. Let us give a warm of applause to Dr. Marlon V. Rupino, our NUST Director of Northern Academic Campuses. Nandiyan na po ba ang ating Director, Sir Marlon Rufino? Good morning po, sir.
Sir Michael, Sir Michael Bensi, I think
for the next speakers, just like to share to everyone that we're almost 850 now. There are almost 850 participants now, and participants are continuously logging into the webinar. So yeah, I think we're going to breach 1,000 later on. Because of the because of just so many folks are still logging in to the webinar. Thank you. Back to you, Ms. Michelle.
Pamabili natin.
Nandiyan po si Sir. Nandiyan po ang ating Director of Northern Academic Campuses, si Sir Marlon Rupino. Baka lang po nakamute yung mic, sir. We will give you the virtual stage po. Ayan po, 858 participants and still counting. Maraming salamat po.
Hello.
Long?
Ma'am Michelle, maybe we can have Sir Rufino, Dr. Rufino later. We'll proceed with the next part of the program. Thank you.
Okay po, let's move. So I know po, we are very excited. So without further ado, let us meet our first speaker who will be guiding us through this enlightening journey. And at this moment, I will give the virtual stage to Ma'am Maylene de Guzman, our NUST Research Coordinator to formally introduce our first guest speaker. Ma'am Maylene. Sir Joel, nandiyan na po ba si Ma'am Maylene? Nandiyan po, mga nagtaas ng kamay. Good morning, Ma'am Maylene. The title of our first session is How to Design Research to Produce Innovation in Technology by Miss Katie. Kaya po alam ko na ang ating mga students in Capstone Project, very po sila, gusto talaga nila tong topic na to. Lalong-lalo na ang ating mga fourth year students, college students.
I have the honor to introduce the first speaker. I have the honor. Okay. So our first speaker is Ma'am Katie Pagenkopf. She helps her clients identify and execute digital strategies for better reaching and serving their customers, from prioritization to customer pain points and measurement frameworks. Katie shows clients how to become learning organizations. As a leader from banking, Ms. Katie's work was acknowledged by Credit Card Monitor in 2019 as a best-in-class experience for payments across USA credit cards. Her expertise includes buy and now, pay later, instant account verification, and pay with points. Ms. Katie is an avid scuba diving, having dived in Malaysia, wow, the Philippines, the Maldives, Indonesia, and India. She has a BFA from the New School and MBA from City University of New York. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor to present to you our first speaker for today's webinar, Ms. Katie Pagenkopf.
Thank you so much, Dr. Cruz. I'm thrilled to be here with you all this morning. If folks could just mute themselves, please. I'd appreciate it. Mute, please. Thanks. So I'm here visiting from New York City. I've been in the Manila area okay, I was just muted. So whatever happened just then, like I got muted. That's fine. So I've been in the Manila area since April, from New York City. And as Dr. Cruz mentioned, I help my clients often with custom research. So that will be the topic today. And I want to commend you all for getting yourselves up on a Saturday morning. It was about a decade ago that I started my MBA, and I had a similar schedule. I would get up on Saturday mornings and drag myself to class, and it was difficult. So give yourselves a pat on the back. So let's get started. I'll be using a slide deck to kind of structure our conversation. And can you see my screen that says contextual inquiry? Yeah. Okay, good. Off to the races. Okay, so you've heard about me. Yep, so our agenda. So we're going to start with a little group exercise. Mike and I did a dry run earlier this week. What's going to happen is we're going to issue a poll to you through Microsoft Teams. So this is the first time I am doing this. So we're going to be learning together. It'll be a simple question. And the goal is just kind of whatever comes to mind first, right? That's what you should type in. And then Microsoft Teams has a word cloud that it is going to create as a result of your poll answers. And I'm going to use that as a reference point through the rest of our conversation. After that, I'm going to kind of dive into the nuts and bolts of the two types of research that are most common in my field, quant and qual, quantitative and qual. Then I will talk to you about the steps that I take to prepare for research. And then we'll talk through some examples like from business today. So there's a case study from Walmart that I think is really interesting that actually shows the cost of failing to do good customer research. And another one from DHL, the International Courier Service, that shows the benefit of doing customer research. All right, so let's move on to the group exercise. Okay, so think about the last few times that you have used your current device, the device that you're using to participate in this webinar. What was one thing that impeded or slowed or was essentially a blocker to you fully enjoying the content that you are consuming? And I'm using content in the most broadest possible term, right? So it could mean like you're reading an article or a blog post. You're listening to some kind of podcast, perhaps, or music. You're streaming television or some sort of video content. And so what's going to happen is we're going to publish the poll, and then you'll type in your answer. Okay, so let's give this a whirl. Mike, will you please publish the poll to our delightful participants today?
Right. I'm launching it now.
Thank you.
Okay. It should pop up in the middle of your screen. The poll should pop up, and then you can write your responses there. Sir Joel, are you able to see?
Yes,
Sir
I
Michael?
can. Yes, I can see it.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, so you might, I am seeing it in my chat. So depending on if you're on a browser or if you're on the native Microsoft app, you may also see it in your chat. So you just type in your answer. Yeah, so I'll give you, I don't know, about 15 seconds. I'm also going to add an answer myself.
So Katie, you're asking about the one thing that obstructed, right? Impeded or
Yes, that's another
obstructed
good.
our enjoyment.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it could be non-technology related. It could have been a bright sunny day and you couldn't have seen your screen well. So don't feel obligated to have a technology-based answer. And that's kind of part of the point of the exercise as well.
So just to translate, tinatanong ni Miss Kiri if we're doing one thing na-access yung content sa internet sa devices natin. So, ano yung nag-obstruct or pumigil sa atin na mag-enjoy on whatever internet materials that we were consuming or materials na pinapanood natin or sinusulat or pinapakinggan at that time. Ano yung nag-block or pumigil sa atin na mag-enjoy ng pagsusulat, pakikinig ng music, or maybe an audiobook, or panonood maybe sa YouTube. Okay. There are some good feedback that we're getting. Yeah, wow. Some are insightful.
Hey, don't be too surprised. These are smart people that we're working with.
Yes. And they are really, yeah.
Oh yeah, he says.
Good.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, let's go ahead and can you help us publish the results, Mike? please.
Okay, view results. Okay, I think you can view the results by clicking in view results. Are you able to see that in the chat? Pakitingin po sa chat, then you can view results from there. Can't seem to try to export the results.
Or if you just want to share your screen, if you're able to see it, Mike, and you just want to share your screen and show it, I'll grab a screenshot and drop it in the deck.
Okay.
Thank you. So while Mike is doing that, I'll just kind of give a brief talk over. So this is kind of a classic example, although very abbreviated, of qualitative research, meaning that you don't have, or you're intentionally opening yourself up as the researcher to the whole variety of possible responses. Okay, well, I'll keep going.
Okay.
And if we, yeah.
Yeah, let me just share my screen. Actually, it's trying to.
Oh, should I
I'm trying
stop
to
sharing?
make it. Yes, I'm just going to share my screen. It's just a bit. Okay. Okay, we have 64 responses, but it didn't. Fortunately, it didn't put it in a word cloud. Let me share my screen.
Yeah. Well, let's see what Microsoft Teams did.
Right. So I exported it.
Yeah.
To an Excel sheet.
That works.
So okay.
That
Internet
works.
connectivity. I'm just going to read it off. Internet connectivity. Internet connection. Disruptions on internet connectivity. So we get that a lot. Slow internet, and then environment and ads. Then you have the noise, poor internet connection, fake news and misinformation. So negative content, especially using God for their post. And you have a lot of folks answered poor internet connectivity, a presenter with no engagement, bad advertisements, unskippable ads, uh, advertisements unrelated to the content of the materials. Rainy day obstruct the connection. For some reason, when it rains hard or when it rains, our internet connectivity slows down, or in some cases, even we are disconnected. Even sometimes we are disconnected. Energy
Perfect.
interruption is the one that impeded my enjoyment. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. Well, thank you for that, Mike. So another thing you learn in research is you use new technology, and it doesn't always work. So as Mike was reading that off, like I grabbed 2 quick screenshots. So we'll talk about it later, but this essentially becomes your data set in qualitative research, and this is the basis that I will often use to explore a topic with a client. So we'll be coming back to this. Okay, so the reason I did that exercise is kind of inspired by this quote by Henry Ford, founder of the Ford Corporation, and essentially credited with being the father, if you will, of the modern assembly line. So Henry Ford famously said that if he had just gone and talked to people and asked them what they wanted back before the automobile was ever invented, that they would have just told him they wanted a faster horse. And that comes from the fact that, you know, we humans, we have different knowledge specialties, and you know, we can't always think of what the best solution would be for different areas like technology or agriculture. Say, I'm a technologist, right? If you dropped me in the middle of a farm and asked me, you know, what I needed to be a better farmer, I'd have no clue. So I always find this quote kind of amusing, because when I look at a data set like this, I want to try to go beyond what people are imagining for themselves today. Instead of getting people a faster horse, which is what often happens if you ask people directly, what do you want? I want to find what's beyond that to surprise and delight customers. And the way that I do that in my work is through qualitative research. So very high level, for my work, I think of research in two different buckets. I think of quantitative research and qualitative research. Quantitative research is typically things that you can count. So when it comes to my work, understanding customers, I might go out and do a study counting how many people prefer the color purple as a call to action on a website, as opposed to the number of people who prefer the color blue. So that's sort of a silly example, but the point is that I'm trying to count the number of preferences, and I would likely choose a color based on where I see the majority lying. So qual answers the why behind what you've counted. So in the example of the colors, I might ask a customer, you know, what does blue mean to you, or how does purple you know, inspire you in a particular context. So it's often about kind of drawing out from people what their unmet needs and their pain points are. So once I'm able to sort of get to those unmet needs and pain points, that starts to tell me what the gap is in the customer experience, and starts helping me clarify where I can resolve that gap with my client's capabilities. And then it's once my client has resolved the gap in the customer experience, that's monetized, and my client makes a profit. So let's break down quantitative or let's break down qualitative. So quantitative on the left is sort of grayed out because we're not going to really deal with that today. In my world, I think about qualitative research as being moderated or unmoderated. Moderated simply means that myself or one of my team members is sitting there with the research respondent, actively asking questions, and it's a live, real-time engagement. Unmoderated means that it's perhaps deployed through a survey, or it's some sort of individual exercise that doesn't require, you know, the researcher being there asking questions. So what's kind of interesting and what I want to call out here is that I have usability under both. So sometimes you can have the same type of research where you're trying to understand, in the case of usability, does the user understand where the drop-down menu is and how to use it? Does the user understand how to reverse and go back a step in the ethnography is when I sit with users like in their context. So that's often in the home. But sometimes if I'm doing work with an enterprise client, it becomes the office atmosphere. It could be the business applications or the business processes that need to be explored. And so that kind of leaves contextual inquiry, which is what we're going to start unpacking this morning. And contextual inquiry is literally like what the words say it is. You are inquiring, asking questions to someone like within their active context. Now that doesn't necessarily have to be in their home. Often, because I'm working with technology, I can do, and I have done research where it's like this webinar. The respondent that I'm talking to is in another location, but he or she shares their screen with me, and I will observe them going through a particular digital experience. Okay, so I am going to show about, I don't know, 30 seconds or so of this video. And this is an example of work that I did back in 2014. My client, it was a totally different company long prior to Amdocs. And my client at the time was American Eagle Outfitters, which is a brand that sells jeans and t-shirts and clothing for the youth market. They felt like they were essentially too slow coming out of the financial crisis from 2008, and they wanted to address their lagging sales with teenagers. So they asked myself and my other colleagues to come in and try to understand how teenagers buy clothes online. Okay, so let me oops, so I need to, 1 second. Let me set my audio. Well, I think, let's see. Oh, shoot, is it not working? Oops, hold on.
It's really hard for me to find things that fit me properly.
Could you hear that, Mike? Say that again.
I can hear it.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
good. So 30 seconds of this video. These are teenagers describing their experience of purchasing or of shopping online.
What are you looking in there for? Just to see.
Just to see like the material
Mhm.
and then also like just the way it fits.
I try my best to get to know my size and the fit of clothes that I need.
And I like that they have their models wearing their dresses on like the main images while I'm going through the pages, because then I can see right away
Mm-hmm.
how short the dress is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'll stop there. So kind of the point there was you heard, I think, three respondents in a row. They were describing to us that they were trying to assess the fit. They wanted to, the one gal said, she said something like, oh, I like that the clothes are on the models, right? So that I can see how it hangs on someone else and where perhaps it hits, like, is it at the ankle, like the length of a skirt, or is it more at the knee? So these were all cues that the users were hoping to cure. And so what ended up happening was a big part of our recommendation to American Eagle Outfitters was like focus on getting as much information to your users as you can so that they can evaluate the fit. Describe like the height of the model, and if the jean is hitting like 2 inches above the ankle, have a short video that shows someone turning around wearing the piece of clothing, right? Like these are all technology solutions to this new idea or newish idea that we don't always go into shops anymore to buy things, right? We have Shopee, Lazada, Amazon. We have all kinds of options now for buying things digitally. So what that example from American Eagle Outfitters kind of, for me, brings together is that we are opening ourselves up to the broadest possible set of answers from consumers in the effort or towards the goal of identifying opportunities. So in the case with American Eagle Outfitters, the unmet needs for the users was the amount of information that was shared with them for evaluating the fit of clothing. So then I take that information and I go back to my client and I say, hey, I think that if you had more photos, if you had a short video of showing a model, like perhaps moving, wearing the clothing, that will inspire more purchases. So the good news is that American Eagle Outfitters as a company had a very strong capability internally for creating very high production videos and photos. So that's how a company takes their, what they're good at doing, understand a gap in the market, put those two things together, and everyone wins. Okay, so why do we do this? We do research to essentially avoid this cartoon. So I'm just going to give you a second to sort of read this. So the joke here, if you will, it's at the very end, right? If you look in the bottom right, this is very simply what the customer wanted. The customer just wanted a simple swing from a tree. Yet, like if you kind of back up through the steps that many businesses will go through when creating new products, you can see how everyone has a different perspective. So the benefit of customer research is that it helps move the customer front and center, and that becomes your basically your decision making. So it's not necessarily about what marketing wants, what sales wants, what engineering, manufacturing wants. It's what does the customer want, and how can we get that to the customer in the most frictionless way possible. Okay, so that was about qualitative research, the types of qualitative research, why we do it, and how business outcomes are arrived at. Now let's get into the nuts and bolts of actually doing the research. So I'm going to take you through step by step the process that I go through. In general, I can't really do research in any less than 8 weeks. So there's a lot of planning and preparation at the beginning, and then the research itself is usually no more than 2 weeks. So if you look here towards the bottom, it says conduct primary research. So that is when we actually have the interview sessions. And then after we talk to respondents, there's a whole bunch of work that goes into synthesizing and understanding the information that we draw from users. Often before research starts, we will do what I call scope definition. And that is just a fancy phrase to say like, hey, let's clarify the problem that we are going after. So this is an example from when I was doing qualitative research for Amdocs. They wanted to understand more about hyper-personalization and if and what the consumer demand was for hyper-personalization. And so the one kind of thing that I want to impress upon you here is that it's really important to start with the end in mind. You want to start with what the outcomes could be, should be, and then work backwards. So in this case, we have decided that we want to understand the consumer demand for this of hyper-personalization. And we don't want hyper-personalization in just any industry. We're in this case, we're specifically interested in banking. So really not too difficult. Have an objective statement, have a few like kind of starter questions, and then state your desired outcomes. So then once the scope is defined, you start some intensive planning, which is basically getting whoever the moderator is, so whoever the person is going to be that talks to the research respondents, getting them ready. So there's two big parts of that. There's identifying the group of people, the respondents that you're going to talk to. And so there's a process where you go through and screen and find people who fit the demographics or the profile of users that you're looking for. And then you put together a discussion guide, which is a highly detailed document. Often my discussion guides are like at least 4 or 5 pages for an hour-long conversation. This is an example of the first page of a discussion guide. So you can see that I have summarized for the moderator, what we want to know high level, what sort of information we want to capture, reminders on what we recruited for, the schedule, like anything that like right at the start of the interview, the moderator might need to know to get started. Then the following pages are lists of questions, and you write down these questions and you keep a list, not because you're going to necessarily go through everything item by item. You want to have a natural conversation with the end user, but you do want to ensure some consistency over all of your interviews. So the discussion guide is essentially a way to help keep the moderator focused and provide reminders of what we're trying to do. So the other really important part is the screener, and this is what the recruiting is kind of based on, and so this talks about, like, you might, like with the American Eagle Outfitters example. So we knew we were focused on teenagers. So when we recruited, we set up the age profile to be, I think it was something between like 13 and 19 years of age. I don't think that we had a particular preference in terms of talking to more males versus females. And then in terms of geography, like, I don't think we had a preference for that either. But I have done research with, I'm trying to think what's a good example. I did research for a jewelry company that was looking for more information on how people did research and then made purchases on engagement rings. So then one of the things I needed to screen for and include in my screening document was the person recently engaged or recently married? Because I wanted to hear from them in detail about their experience shopping for jewelry. All right, so once you have your discussion guide set, you kind of know the content you're going to be covering with your respondent, and you know the topics you need to address. Then you have your screener. So now you're ready to go out into the field. That's the term we use, and start recruiting people, vetting your recruits, and then scheduling them for the research. So once we have vetted our recruits and scheduled them, we move into research. This is an example of 1 week of research that I did recently. So you can see the dark blue represents the interviews, the participants that we chatted with. And then the lighter blue is where we're starting to digest and capture the information from each interview. So those are the debriefs. And one of the, kind of the common tool that I use to capture information is called a user shrine, and I'll show you what that looks like. And then a relatively simple Excel document to capture key learnings. And so in terms of like capturing those learnings, the way I will run research is that there'll usually be kind of a 3-person team doing the research. You'll have your moderator who is live in the session talking to the respondent. You'll have some sort of analyst or assist kind of role, someone who can take notes and be really focused on capturing information. And then a 3rd person who, sort of is making sure the logistics are set, that the video works, that the respondent receives an honorarium, like all of the kind of logistics. So then how does this 3-person team sort of move from doing the research to creating knowledge, right? To capturing the information, synthesizing it, and making it knowledge. I mean, it is fairly straightforward in the sense that, the moderator and the analyst will have their sets of notes. They'll come together during these debrief sessions and create a master set. It's highly collaborative on purpose because what we know about the human brain is that the whole 2 heads are better than 1, if you've heard the expression. Like our brains, like we are able to create better, more interesting ideas when we work in close collaboration with others. And so once we've created a master set, this becomes the source for our synthesis. Okay, so the user shrine. So during the debrief sessions, after each interview, the team will come together and collaboratively populate something roughly that looks like this. So you will kind of simplify the screener, and in this case, we were talking to someone named Jim. We had kind of categorized him as an affluent saver, and we were asking him about his experience with digital-only banks, meaning banks that do not have a branch, right? Banks that are digital only. So then once we have a user shrine like this, we will create the Excel spreadsheet, and this sort of serves as our source of truth. So everyone will drop into this document quotes that they heard people say that like really quotes that they heard users say that really captured a pain point well, particular actions that the user took, or particular opportunities that are observed. And so you can see here that we very simply coded some as PP, which stands for pain point, and we've categorized some others as wins. And so when we move into the synthesis, what we can learn from pain points is that those are things we can resolve in a way that a company, my client, could monetize and sell as a service or product. If it's a win, the wins help guide us to what the characteristics are of an experience that customers will be excited about and want to engage with. So then once we have our data set, what do you do with that? Data on its own, like if we, this is why I wanted to do the group exercise. So let's go back to our group exercise. So if we were just to look at this long list, I mean, it's a lot, right? Like we need to go through some sort of process to sort of group these and start seeing what themes are coming up. So that is what we do in this stage. So if we were to take our group exercise into this part of the process, we would have some sort of collaborative whiteboarding space that we would use, where all of the things that you typed in would start showing up as these little sticky notes. And we would start grouping them and looking for themes and looking for patterns and seeing what the commonalities are. And then it's sort of a phase of almost like you try to distill everything down into like a few key concepts, and then you start expanding again. That's kind of my own brain's experience. What's important though is that you keep your insights empirical, meaning like every observation that shows up or every sort of theme that is established in one of these sticky notes. Actually, this is a better example. Right, we know that when we talk to customers, they spoke about the hours that the service was available. We know that customers talked about really bad experiences they had that customer service could have changed. So I mentioned that because it's not, we're not going to try to explain why things happened. We're not solutioning at this stage. We're just objectively creating knowledge, essentially. Okay, so then we have talked to our user, we have captured our information, we've gone through our synthesis and generated our insights. So at this point, we're to week like 5 or 6 out of our 8 weeks of research. So the last thing to do is to publish our findings. So essentially, I think of it as you are recording your synthesis process. And what I love about this is you are literally creating knowledge, right? Like you have a question. We talked about, what is the consumer demand for hyper-personalization in banking? There's no information really available on that topic. And then you go from no information to a report. And so on the left, actually from that specific study is an example of like attrition triggers and conversion drivers. So attrition meaning like when does a customer stop using a product or service, and conversion meaning when does a customer start using it. When you've broken down the information in the process to that level of detail, now the company, my client, could start to solve for the attrition triggers, or could create experiences to capture the conversion. So then findings reports on their own, although I love them, can be quite dry, right? It's just like the facts and information. When it really comes to life is when organizations consume those findings, and then it can become things like thought leadership. It can be published in owned media like LinkedIn or other social media platforms, or it could even become the inputs for paid media, where a marketing department may purchase placement in magazines, websites, etc. All right, so we talked, I know, very quickly about what is qualitative research, how do you do it. Now let's kind of go back to the holistic big picture and let's look at some well-known brands in the world and how qualitative research has impacted their business. So let's start with when qualitative research goes wrong. So coming out of the financial crisis, Walmart was investing in new strategies to improve their revenue and profit. And at the time, they were very worried about Target, their closest competitor in the US. And they knew that customers who shopped at Target, felt like Target was easier to find products. It was better organized. In a sense, it was less cluttered than Walmart. So Walmart thought to itself, well, gee, what if our customers want a less cluttered experience? How do we get at that? So to Walmart's credit, before they launched into any kind of decluttering initiative, they decided, wait, we should ask customers, which is the right thing to do. The problem with how they approached it was they asked customers after they had checked out and paid for their items, a simple little one question survey. Would you like less cluttered aisles or something to that effect? So, you're finishing your shopping, you want to go on with your day, you just quickly say, yes, of course I want less cluttered aisles. Well, unfortunately, that didn't really reflect the reality of what customers wanted. And after Walmart implemented their decluttering program, they lost about $1 million in revenue due to they had less items in their store, so there were less items to sell, so they made less profit. And then they spent quite a bit. I think the remaining $850 million they spent on the actual initiative itself, so the costs related. So this is a perfect sort of synopsis. By asking customers what they wanted instead of observing their behavior, Walmart fell victim to confirmation bias. And this is a very normal human kind of paradigm. Like we come at something with our own ideas and beliefs, and we tend to want to confirm those beliefs. So if you think back to the exercise we did at the beginning, notice like I did not ask you what would make your internet connection or what would make your, let's see. So I asked you about what was one thing that impeded your connectivity to streaming content or consuming content. I did not ask you what is the resolution to your problem, right? So I am intentionally trying to draw out from you all in this case, what was the behavior or the outcome or the experience of the user. I'm not guiding you towards something like I guess the example would be, oh, wouldn't it be great if you had a newer device? Wouldn't that solve your problem? Of course it's going to solve your problem. Everyone wants a new phone, a new computer, a new, whatever. So a little bit about confirmation bias. Let's talk about DHL, and then I'll wrap up and we'll move on to Q&A. DHL, the International Courier Service, German company. So prior to COVID, the COVID pandemic, DHL was thinking about ways to improve their employees' experience and decrease costs by addressing operations gaps. So DHL had acknowledged that a lot of their internal procedures were very manual and included paper, and they wanted to see how they could automate repetitive tasks. So they launched a series of 370 digitization projects. So in my mind, like, this is a massive research project that the organization is undertaking to better understand how it operates. It launched this in the APAC region, so out where we are, and they did all kinds of things. And they started by 2021. They started to see some of the early successes, and as a result, committed to spending 2 billion euros on digital transformation and what they learned from those 370 digitization projects. So, okay, cool. So then what happened? Okay, so this is just a sort of little summary of all the steps. So what I kind of want to point out here was that it was in 2019 when they first started to think about it. It took at least a year for them to launch the projects. Then it took another year for them to start rolling out the success that they saw in those projects. And then they expected it was going to take them another 4 years to do the transformation efforts that they learned in the 2 years prior. But it started to have a payoff. So if you look, the kind of point of this graph is, DHL has a pretty slow and steady growth over the course of a decade, and then all of a sudden, the slope of their revenue increase is, drastically increases. So that shows how an organization can, kind of focus its internal resources, learn what it needs to about its processes or its customers to improve, and then see like really exciting results after that. Whew, okay. So I have done a massive amount of talking, and I appreciate the attention and the engagement. So now I am eager and excited to address questions with any remaining time that we have. So I will turn it back over to our facilitator.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ma'am Katie. Thank you for for your very informative session. I am sure that our students, our participants gained knowledge, especially on the power of inquiry and data gathering, and how to design the research in an innovative way. And now we're now come to the most interactive part of our webinar, the open forum. Okay. The open forum will be facilitated by our training director of NUST, Dr. Jonil T. Peria. Sir Jonil, I will give you now the virtual stage for questions and clarifications. Sir Joel, nandiyan na po ba si Sir Jonil?
Hindi ka pa makita si Sir Jonil, no? But I think Sir Jonil has already logged in. Hello, Sir Jonil. Hello, Sir Jonil. Anyway, while we are waiting for Sir Jonil, our participants can write their questions at the chat box. So our speaker, Miss Katie, can answer your queries. Those who will ask questions will be given a free T-shirt. Yes,
That's exciting.
we will raffle the names of those who are going to ask questions, and I'm going to give this kind of shirt. Okay, this shirt. This is Brigada Escuela. So please ask your questions. Hello, dear participants. Please ask your questions to Miss Katie. Somebody has
Two
raised.
participants actually raising their hands. Sir
Yes.
Delphine and Mr. Nieves.
Okay, let's have your questions. Mr. Delphine. Hello. Can you hear me, Mr. Delphine? Okay. Maybe we can have BSIT3B, Nieves. We have, is it Mr. Nieves or Miss Nieves? We can only see Nieves. Okay. Please ask your question. Hello. If it is difficult for you to talk, you can just write your question in the chat box. So we
Katie,
can.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Just on that the confirmation bias, right? Walmart experience. Okay, so I wasn't I don't know if I didn't hear it or I wasn't paying attention, but
Yeah.
when the consumers or the um, the consumers check that yes, they want a decluttered aisle.
Yep.
What did Walmart do after that? They decluttered the aisle, and
Oh, yes. Thank
can
you.
I
So
just
yes. Yep.
clarify that?
So Walmart collected all the responses, and it was resoundingly like, yes, I want, the customers were saying to Walmart, yes, I want decluttered aisles. That sounds great. So then Walmart invested, I think they spent about $850 million dollars on the consultants, the change management, all the like process stuff. And then they lost another 1 billion, almost $1 billion, and they lost $1 billion by their estimate in terms of once they had done the decluttering, the sales that they didn't get from the additional items in the store, and the customer dissatisfaction with the experience compared to what they were used to. So for me, the sort of big learning there is it's really important when you're doing qualitative research to understand the context, right? It's contextual inquiry. Understand the context of the user. It's not the right context at the end of your shopping trip as you're trying to leave the store and get on with your day, right? To ask someone that question. Yep. Expensive mistake.
Yeah. Even for me, if you're a regular grocery shopper, right, and then you go back to the grocery and everything's rearranged.
Yep.
With their decluttering
Yeah.
activity,
We humans, that's a really good
I'll be
point.
confused.
Yes, we are creatures of habits, right? We
Right.
humans, we love our habits and our routines. And if it's going to, your grocery store and, the beans are usually on aisle 2 and all of a sudden they're on aisle 4, that can be really frustrating. Okay. Is real estate better than investment? Can someone clarify that? I don't quite follow like the question. Is real estate a better investment than what?
Yes, the question must be clarified. It could
Martin,
be
Martin, can you clarify that one? And while we're waiting for the clarity, Katie, what I've heard from you, when you do conducting the research, very important. You have a team, right? 3 people,
At
and
least.
I also at least, and I also, I think I want to stress to everybody, it's very important to take notes. Sometimes or record it, right? And then ask the
Yes.
permission of things because to be recorded, ask the permission to be recorded, right? Because
Yep.
at the end, after having a very informative and very good conversation, after the meeting, we forget all about it. And
Yes.
yeah, and
Exactly. Yep.
yeah, so it's very important to take notes.
Yep. Yeah, I consider myself a lifelong learner. While I don't have as many degrees as Dr. Cruz does, through my work, I have continually been learning, and good note taking, good communication skills, being flexible with technology has all served me very well in my career.
And I think part of that also, it's very important. Sometimes the confirmation bias. Sometimes we go to a meeting, we already have our perception or our idea.
Yep.
And I think what caught my attention was your first slide about Henry Ford. If you ask them, if you have ask the consumer what they want, they'll be talking
Yep.
about horses, right? Not cars.
Yeah.
So
Great.
we just need to go into an interview to on the research for e-research that we have an open mind and just really listen to what
Yep.
our what they are saying. For
Yeah.
the interview.
Siguro, minsan taas lang siguro.
I think hello. Can you mute if you're not asking a question? Okay. For our students here, especially those doing research, this is a very good opportunity to ask questions. Right? Miss Katie here is really very well skilled in conducting those interviews and doing research.
plus you have a chance to win this shirt. I think this shirt will go to Sir Michael Ila for asking question.
Hello, Sir
And
John.
of course, we're going a T-shirt to Ma'am Katie later.
Oh, yay.
Miss Katie,
Wow.
yes, this is Brigada Escuela 2023.
Very nice.
Yes, yes. So please ask your questions, dear participants. There's a
Sir,
question here.
yeah. Sir Joel.
If you are to, yes, may I read this? This is from Mr. Alvin. Okay. May I ask? There's a lot of questions here. From Mr. Erickson Albindo, one of the many things that can obstruct my, sorry, this is already done. Mr. Alvin Dane Capulong, if you are to make a research on something, is it okay to fail and try again, even though you lost so many times and money? Or is it better to try and make a new one on something?
Interesting. I guess because I learn, because of the way I try to scope my projects and the research that I do, I don't know that I can say that it's a failure, right? There is no like you win or you fail. It is, what do you learn as a result of doing it? So you know, I almost,
Ay, mahal kape tayo. Yun yung
Hello. Can you mute if you're not asking a question? Okay. Back
where
to you,
was I?
Katie.
So yeah, so I don't really think of it as a failure. It's like you bring information in, it helps you guide towards a decision. If you feel like the information that you gained from research doesn't allow you to make a decision, then yeah, sometimes you do more research, but that's actually when quantitative research, which we did not talk about today, can come in handy. So sometimes I will do qualitative research first to get ideas and sort of generate hypotheses. Then I will take what I learn and do a quantitative study where I know, like, you know, the exact number of people who want this, or the exact number of instances that they would buy this product or service. So I guess it's really hard to say that learning is a failure. So I hope that answers the question. Jonathan?
Thank you very much, Miss Katie.
Yeah.
We have another question. What is the best thing to do when you have already respondent? Is it interview or giving a survey?
So this is my own bias. I love qualitative research. I love talking to people. I love being able to ask them follow-up questions. So my recommendation is always to talk to people. When I work with clients and they insist on quantitative research, they'll often tell me at the end, like, well, you know, the quantitative research wasn't sufficient because it didn't capture, you know, edge cases or the nuances. Well, of course, that's why you have to go talk to people. And that's also partly why it takes 8 weeks to get even a basic response. I hope that answers the question.
Yes, thank you very much, Miss Katie. So it also depends on your objectives, you know? And of course, the kind of research that we are conducting. Another question, we are going to entertain last 2 questions, I think. How important is it to specifically define the scope of research?
Very important. So I think, you know, the 2 most important things in the scoping part is, you know, what is the business problem? So, you know, with the case of Walmart, if we kind of reverse engineer, you know, their business problem is something like, our closest competitor, Target, is taking market share. How do we protect our existing market share and reverse that trend, right? So that's the business problem. And then the other important part of the scoping is defining who you talk to. So remember, I talked about the screener. So, you know, there would have been some sort of conversations within Walmart so that maybe they decided a certain threshold of purchase. So they may not have deployed that survey at the end of shopping to every single customer. They may have only deployed it to the customers who spent, you know, 1,000 pesos on their shopping trip. I'm just sort of making this up. Yep. I hope that answers the question.
Yes, thank you, Miss Katie. It's really important to scope the research because, of course, there's plenty of research, and you cannot finish if you don't scope your research. You just have to have a limitation. And the last question, I think, is coming from Mr. Fidel Roque. Being a researcher, what is your strategy? You do research as a group or as an individual?
So in terms of talking to people who I'm doing research with, I only do one-on-one research, or I might talk to 2 people. Like I mentioned the jewelry example of shopping for engagement and bridal jewelry. Now that I actually would talk to couples. It was very interesting. I would talk to, you know, the husband, and then I would talk to the wife, and then I would talk to them together, and I would understand the differences between what they described and how their experiences were different. I hope that answers the question.
Yes, thank you very much, Miss Katie. Nowadays, we are promoting collaborative research, interagency research. So, for example, the Department of Education can collaborate with the Department of Health or the Department of the SWD or the Department of Social and Welfare and Development. So we can have a more comprehensive scope of the research.
Yes. So
And we
so
hope that we can also collaborate with Amdocs Philippines when our students are conducting research.
Yep. Collaboration wins. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for having me. It was a treat, an honor, my pleasure. And I'm looking forward to the rest of the webinar.
Yeah. Katie,
Thank
Katie,
you.
I have a
Thank you, Miss
question.
Katie.
By the way, I have a question. One last question.
Yeah. All right, fine. This troublemaker. What a troublemaker this
Sir
troublemaker.
Joel.
Okay, so I like the t-shirt of Sir Joel, so that's why I'm asking question. All right. So Katie, just like one question for the students and also for our Department of Education in the academy. So we know that this role, this profession is very in demand, no, in the market. We are looking at this role as something that is unique to the IT industry, not just for the IT but also for the rest of the sectors out there. So if I'm a student, for example, so I'm attending this one, I saw the presentation. What do I need to do? I mean, what are the skill set that I need to to learn for me to be effective in this profession? That's one. Second one is for the academe. So for the academe, what do you think? What do you believe that we need to start offering in the academe so that we can support the students, we can support the faculty to be knowledgeable and also can take on job vacancies, no, in this area moving forward.
That is an excellent question. So in terms of skills, as much writing practice as you can get in, as much communication skills practice. I would say, like, try to find opportunities where, like, I'm not on stage at the moment, but this is a large forum. There's 800 people here, right? Like, it takes some practice to be comfortable, with this situation. I mean, my church back in New York City always needed people to help out with something. So I usually found, I found many outlets there to sort of practice my skills. So I took a negotiation class in college that was really helpful, and it really improved my communication and writing skills. I took both quantitative and qualitative research classes in college. I took what's called product development, but in the terms of product, it's very specific to digital. So I took a class where I got to kind of try out being a product owner and going through that process. I was a product owner. So I started in research, and then I moved on to becoming a product owner, and then now I'm, a senior consultant. So in a sense, like, research was kind of my origin, my starting point in technology. So I would say focus on your communication, writing skills, strengthen your comfort with ambiguity, right? Like, that's an important part of this. And yeah, be perceptive of the world around you. Does that answer the question, Jonathan? All right.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah,
So
thank
Jonathan,
you.
you will have a T-shirt.
Okay,
Wow.
I love it.
Wow.
Thank you, Sir Joel.
Okay, okay. When you
What a
come here
sacrifice.
on September 15, I'll give you your shirt.
Okay, all
Okay.
right.
Okay. Ma'am
Okay.
Michelle?
Okay.
Thank you so much, Sir Michael Ilaw, Sir Jonathan, Sir Joel. Sir Joel, I also like the t-shirt, but I don't have questions. But I would like to request our participants to please give a heart react as a sign of our appreciation to Ma'am Katie Pageant-Cock. Thank you so much, Ma'am.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you sa mga heart reacts ng ating mga participants. Smiley or heart reacts. Okay, yan. Yan. To show appreciation to our first guest speaker. So now let's proceed to the awarding of Certificate of Appreciation to be awarded by Sir Michael E. Bensi, our NUST MGT BSIT Program Head. Sir Bensi.
Hello, good morning, everyone.
Good morning po.
Morning.
So ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests and participants, please join us in virtually applauding Miss Katie Pageant-Cock for her outstanding presentation and
You're on mute, Michael.
You're mute. You're mute. Sir Michael.
yan. Okay, sir.
Okay. Yeah, that's better.
So, Miss Katie, we would like to present you with the Certificate of Appreciation in recognition of your dedication and exceptional contribution to our webinar this morning. So, your expertise and insights have not only enriched our knowledge, but also inspired.
Sir Michael, can you show the certificate?
Um,
Can you share it so we can see?
okay. Wait, sir.
Okay.
I have this a technical technical difficulty, sir. When so I can show you the certificate. I cannot flash it on the screen, sir.
Anyway, okay. So we'll do it later. Okay.
Okay. So again, Miss Katie, please accept our virtual certificate as our symbol of our gratitude to be presented to you on our face-to-face meeting. So your session has left an indelible mark on our event this morning, and we honor that you have you as our esteemed speaker. So once again, Ma'am Katie. Okay, thank
Yes,
you.
Ma'am Michelle.
Sir Michael E. Bensi, and again, thank you so much, Ma'am Katie Pageant-Cock. Magkakaroon po tayo ng photo op. Saglit lang po para sa ating first session. Paki-open po yung ating mga camera. Sir Joel, pa-assist po bago tayo mag-proceed sa ating second session.
Okay, please turn on your camera so we can have our momentous picture taking. Let's take this opportunity to have a picture taking with our very good speaker, Miss Katie. Okay. Ready? We have 402 frames. I think everyone can have their picture taking at their end, so we can have more pictures. Ready? 1, 2, and 3. Smile. Okay, another. Let's have another picture taking. Please turn on your camera, please. Ready? 1, 2, and 3. Smile. And okay. Especially our students at NEST and DepEd, please have
Ano, kuya?
Ito yung camera natin, oh.
Doon kami nakita kanina.
Diyan kami.
again, please mute your audio. Okay, thank you very much. Michelle.
Okay, thank you so much po, Sir Joel. And now let's move to our second session. So our second guest speaker. So to formally introduce our guest speaker, we will have Mr. Joel V. Cruz, our Senior Education Program Specialist for Social Mobilization, Networking at DepEd Nueva Ecija, and also the faculty of NUST Talavera. Sir Joel?
Thank you, Ma'am Michelle. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, loud and clear.
Okay. So let me introduce our next speaker. Our next speaker is the Corporate Programs Manager and Amdocs Philippines Site Lead Director. He completed his mechanical engineering program from University of San Jose Recoletos. He holds several industry certifications and is also the ambassador for the IT and Business Process Association of the Philippines. This organization, which Amdocs is a part of, this organization consists of more than 300 member companies and organizations, and
Sir Joel, you're on mute.
okay, let me repeat.
You were at the IT BPAP, the organization.
Okay. The organization plays a pivotal role in sustaining the growth of the IT BPM industry in the country. Ladies and gentlemen.
Hello.
Again, English pa rin.
Hello, Sir Joel? Na-mute ka ulit.
Ayan, na-mute po ako. Ayan. Sorry for the second time. Or for the third time. I'd like to introduce our next speaker to talk about introduction to Metaverse, our good friend from Amdocs Philippines, Mr. Jonathan Ramos.
Okay, so thank you, Sir Joel, for that heartwarming welcome. So, magandang umaga, everyone. So you cannot just say everyone to say good morning, right? So,
Good morning.
Yeah,
Good morning.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, so first,
Sir John, can we see your can you turn please turn on your camera?
Yeah, you cannot see my camera.
No.
Let me just quickly check. Because I'm using both. Sige, okay. How about this one? Can you see it?
Yes.
Not yet. We just see JR.
There's also one. Mike, you can see my my camera, Mike?
Not yet, Sir John.
Okay, something is not right. Okay.
Anyway, you can just share your slides, or Jonathan.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Sige. So while my camera is rebooting, so first thank you, no, for inviting Amdocs again in this very important event, and we're very happy to again share our technologies, the talks that we want everyone to experience and also to learn. And we're hopeful that this can be, a stepping stone for you to pursue kung ano man yung gusto ninyo sa buhay niyo. And sana makatulong ito sa
Ba't ang tagal nito?
inyong araw-araw na activities, no? So okay, so we normally do this in a like a face-to-face session, no? And we see students, we see faculty members reaction when they learn, when they have their their moment, their learning moment. So for us, since virtual ito, what you can do is that, as what Mike and Katie mentioned a while back, that for you to be a learner, no, for you to really appreciate the topic, you can, of course, you can you can watch the slides, but you can also like list down, no, or you can take notes. But because virtual tayo, what I want to request from you guys is that if any of the slides, no, you feel that okay, you learned something, for example, oy, gusto ko to, please just do a reaction, no? Something like thumbs up or clap your hands, para at least it can also impact, no? Internally, there's a study sa market that if you're listening and if you take notes or you do some action, then it will be absorbed, no, by your subconscious mind, and it will stay there for quite some time. Kaya very important na whenever you attend some sessions, some trainings, listen carefully and also take some notes. Okay, do some actions. There, I see the some reactions there. Okay, so let's start. So metaverse, no? Metaverse has been in this world for quite some time. In fact, mas nauna pa siya kay ChatGPT, no? Everyone here already knows ChatGPT. And this is also like immersive. This is also similar to what ChatGPT's experience. You feel, you interact, very immersive. So we'll discuss with you the metaverse coming from the Amdocs Insight Marketing. And by the way, if you have questions, baka makalimutan nyo kasi mamaya eh. So please put it in the chat already para mamaya babalikan na lang natin and we can answer the questions. Okay? So are you ready?
Yes.
Perfect. So some reactions, please. Okay,
Opo.
good.
Ayun, oo.
Okay, so let me just share my screen. Okay, let me know if you can see my screen already. You can see it ba?
Not yet, sir.
Not yet.
Di po.
How about this one?
Not yet.
So Jonathan, maybe you can give it to me, and I'll be the one to share it.
Okay, let me share it again. Ayaw pa rin?
Wala rin po.
Sige, give me 1 minute ha, and then I'll just relog in Teams.
Okay.
Okay.
Sige po.
While we are having the preparation, let me share with you the evaluation, so we can improve our services with you. So this is our evaluation for the first topic. I'm going to put it on the chat box. Okay, so everyone, please answer this. And this will be a requirement for you to be given a certificate of participation. Thank you very much. And maybe we can play some videos, Sir Michael Ilaw, about Amdocs.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Can Michael, Sir Michael, share the certificate of appreciation for Miss Katie? Are you able to share now, Sir Michael, or not yet?
I cannot share it right now, sir.
Okay.
Probably we will be giving the certificate to Ma'am Katie on our face-to-face meeting.
Okay.
That will be that is set on September 15. Am I correct, sir?
Okay.
Sir Joel?
Yeah. Okay. Or Sir Michael, maybe you can send to Sir Joel, and then Sir Joel can flash it. Is that
yes?
Possible? Our BCP, business continuity plan.
And while we are waiting for
Sir,
the
save it, sir, on the I think, Sir Michael, you can also save it to the shared drive where we have the videos, and then Sir Joel can download it from there.
Yes.
Okay. I see Sir Jonathan is back. Hi, Sir Jonathan.
Open.
Okay, wow. It's a lot of folks trying to join. It's accepting so many folks.
Can I share a video, Sir Michael?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. This is about Amdocs. Can you see it now?
But we don't have the sound, sir. Sir Joel, we don't have the sound.
Sound. Okay, wait a minute.
At Amdocs, we're empowering.
Now, can you hear the sound?
We're living
Yes,
through
sir.
an
Yes,
age
sir.
of wow
Thank
moments.
you.
There are signs of the incredible digitally driven progress reshaping every aspect of our lives. But this amazing era doesn't just happen. It depends on the work of visionary companies who depend on a seamless digital world where advanced networks, clouds, and business systems form the engine that keep us moving forward. At Amdocs, we're empowering our customers' digital transformation. We get to know their businesses better than anyone, building their foundations for the future, partnering with them at every step of their innovation journey to turn their boldest ideas into reality, so they can make billions of users feel like VIPs, so they can make the leaps forward that make society tick and industry talk. Behind the experiences that make the world say, wow, you'll find us helping those who shape the future to make it amazing. Amdocs, make it amazing.
Well, I think we have Sir Jonathan here.
I got the world on a buzz and it's catching like a fire. Everybody's gonna come with us, new school, new style. And if you tell us to it's better, then you preach into the choir. It takes one to know one, people like you. Whatever you do, make it amazing. Make it go, make it diamond. Make it amazing. Make him clap, make him jolly. Make it amazing. Okay, okay, set off for nothing but amazement. The future is waiting for us. Wake up in the morning, riding up the highway. Walk through the door like we put the A in. Okay, so last year, no game if you less than. Because so to no go where we come from. Make it amazing. I got the world on a buzz and it's catching like a fire. Everybody gonna come with us, new school, new style. And if you tell us to it better, then you're preaching to the choir. Takes one to know one, people like you. Whatever you do is make it amazing. Make it go, make it diamond, make it amazing. Make him clap, make him jolly, make it amazing. Okay, okay, set up for nothing but amazement. The future is waiting for us. Make it amazing.
Okay, sir.
Are we okay, Sir John?
Yeah, you can hear me?
Okay, yes, loud and clear.
Okay, so let me do it again.
Okay. And we can also see you now, Sir Jonathan.
Okay, good, good. All right, so so I hope this will work. We'll share my screen. So sharing my screen, let me know if you can see it. You can see it
Okay, sir.
already? Not
Yeah,
yet.
yeah, we can see it now.
Okay, good, good. Okay,
Uh,
so let's start. Let's start. So metaverse. So today we will be discussing metaverse, no? What's the metaverse? What are the applications currently in the metaverse? And what are the tools, no? What are the ano yung mga kailangan nyo para you can absolutely experience an amazing experience, no, in the metaverse. So I'll first start with a video. So I will
Connection is a spark that gives our lives meaning. It drives us to seek out others who feel the same way.
Okay, why don't you input the data and we'll take a look together. Hey Mari, what you got for me?
To find those who share our views, yet offer different perspectives.
So this next.
Look over here.
Challenge us with new ways of seeing.
That I think we should.
Deepen our understanding. And enrich our lives.
最后一笔的时候，往前。
Great things happen when we commit to something bigger than ourselves.
Take a closer look at it.
Place this here. Let's see how we go from there, okay?
This sense of collaboration and the feelings of connection it brings excites us.
Hey, just in time. I'm gonna move it slightly, okay?
It's yours, take it.
We have two planes right now on the same trajectory.
As we put people first, technology fades into the background and feels like anything but.
Aisha, what do you think?
I think if we had 330, maintaining 2800, we'll be clear for approach.
Excellent.
This changes the way we see the world, and in turn, changes the world we see.
These numbers are looking great, actually.
There's promise in the possibilities, and what we see and create next will stretch the imagination.
Good morning, Sarah.
Morning.
Slowly coming towards the thumb.
A world without boundaries.
Good job. A lot better than yesterday.
Yeah.
Excellent. Slowly bring
A world where technology enhances, not limits, humanity. With people front, center, and in the spotlight. The future is here. And here can be anywhere. Introducing Microsoft Mesh.
Okay. Good. So so that is the metaverse, no? That is a few years back it was like in movies, right? And now it's happening. So it's in our
For both better and worse, Microsoft HoloLens 2 is ahead of its time. The $3,500.
Okay. So so it's running right now and it's being used by different companies worldwide. So what is the metaverse? So from the ancient Greek word, no? Meta is beyond and universe and verse is the universe. So meaning this is a sort of like a duplicate, no, to our real world, and it's immersive. So you can be anyone in the metaverse, and it's a very promising technology na tayo mga Pilipino can also leverage this platform for us to help not just our people, no, in the Philippines but also worldwide. At ang kagandahan nito ay it's not like ginawa sa US or ginawa sa ibang bansa, but tayo sabay-sabay nating matutunan kung ano yung mga platforms, kung ano yung mga technologies na that comprises of the metaverse. And because the companies, because the global companies are very passionate, very positive on metaverse. Si Facebook, no, they changed the name to Meta. So if you look at Facebook now, they are Meta and they are heavily investing in metaverse. So ano yung mga experiences natin na makukuha out of the metaverse platform? So these are three experiences that you can experience when you're in the metaverse. The first one is more on augmented reality. So last time, di ba, may mga Pokemon tayo na mga applications, mga Pokemon na app na when we ano kung saan natin siya ituro, may mga objects, may mga characters. So that is an example of augmented reality experience. So you can use your phone and you can use also some headset, no? Si Meta, they have this Project Nazare, and they're using headset where you can see, no, yung if you wear it, you can see yung yung mga social media chats ninyo sa WhatsApp, for example. Now, second one is the mixed reality experience. So this is where you put the headsets, no? And yung kanina si Mesh, it talks about yung mga what you can see when you're using Mesh. And of course, there's also this Project Cambria. Guys, can you like mute your mic, please? Okay. So there's also this mixed reality experience where you can see yung Desmo with yung.
John, can you unmute yourself? You're on mute. Thank you.
Okay. Can you hear me now? Okay, good. So there's also a virtual reality experience, no, where you have the Fortnite and of course the simulation of the reality. Yung sa Meta here, what they're doing here is that they're doing some meetings, no, but if you can see, yung mga avatars nila iba-iba na. So in the metaverse, when we will be having this webinars, what will happen is that maybe Sir Joel will have a different avatar. Myself, I also have a different avatar, and the rest of you will also have a different avatar. So that is how immersive, no, yung metaverse. And this is happening now, and this is very critical for you students and for the academe and for us also in the company, kasi ito na yung hahanapin ng mga tao moving forward. So okay, so there are three reality experiences, no, in the metaverse. You have the augmented, you have mixed, and then you have virtual reality. Okay, next one is yung concept niya. So this is the history of the metaverse, no? So it started actually in 1992. Maybe some of you hindi pa pinanganak, but there's this book, no, yung Snow Crash, talks about warping, no, from the reality world to the virtual world. So ito yung Snow Crash. And then of course yung Matrix, where it's very good movie. It talks about virtual worlds. And then before naging movie yung Ready Player One, naging book muna siya noong 2011. And then in 2018, if you watch the movie Ready Player One, it's very immersive. It's very good, no, in terms of showcasing what we can do in the metaverse. And then of course the 2021, the Microsoft Mesh, where they started building their platform in the metaverse, and Meta, which is previously Facebook. Good. So I see a lot of hearts here. So I hope that you learned a lot, no, in terms of the history of metaverse. And this concept, like moving from the reality, no, where we are right now, to moving to the virtual reality, is very it's unprecedented, no. So there's a lot of people, there's a lot of people, not just in the business world, but also in the academe, students. They're very positive in terms of metaverse. And did you know, no, may trivia ako sa inyo, yung Pilipinas, when they did the survey about, you know, are you ready for the metaverse, si Pilipinas yung nangunguna, no, sa Asia in terms of adopting this platform, right? So it's very good, you know, it's very good that the Filipino people are very open in terms of new technologies. Okay, so we're talking about augmented reality, mixed reality, virtual reality. So what's really the definition of metaverse? So since napakalaki niya, ah napakalaki yung scope niya, there's really no single definition, no? But some principles. So dapat ano siya? Dapat immersive. So dapat ano siya? You are working towards a goal. It's like a mission type activity. It also a community, no, where you go into that metaverse and you work with the different people there. You can also sell stuff, no? Siguro some of you are into cryptocurrencies or non-fungible tokens. So you can all do that in the metaverse. And then lately, may mga concerts na rin tayong nakikita doon sa metaverse, no? So yung mga bands, they start playing in the metaverse. It should be collaborative also. So, di ba pag nag-games tayo, we look for some friends, we look for, or we work, we play with friends also. So it should be collaborative. So you can chat, you can talk, you can share videos, you can also do a video call. So everything should be collaborative. And then it should be interoperable. So Web3, no? So that is the concept of Web3. So if you also look at the internet, no, in Google, you please check yung Web 1, Web 2, Web 3. So these are the three versions that we are interacting with when it comes to going, no, or may nag-mute rin sa akin. So I was talking about interoperable, persistent, no? So maski may mga changes, may mga development na nangyayari, but the underlying components should not change. So nandun palagi yung base niya. And then of course, it should be decentralized. So we talk about blockchain, we talked about crypto. So these are the areas where you need to focus your attention also when you want to play big or when you want to participate, no, in the metaverse. Okay, next slide. Okay, so some examples here. So we have siloed metaverses. So we have Fortnite. Ito yung mga games, di ba? Fortnite, Roblox. So meaning, if you go to this, if you go to these applications, you can only be in the Fortnite platform, no, or in the Fortnite game, or in Roblox also. So it's siloed, no? So kanya-kanya silang environment. But for the integrated metaverse environment, you can have multiple environment, multiple metaverses in a big metaverse environment. So Xbox is there already. So Gucci is there already, and Disney. So and they also have their own metaverses, no? But they can coexist in the metaverse. And the key principle is that they can be interoperable within each other, and there's a lot of activities that's happening, no, in the metaverse, and they can contribute together. So I want you to look at the enabling technology, because these are the technologies that you'll be working with, no, when you want to experience the metaverse. That's one. Second one is, if you really is passionate, no, in building something in the metaverse, then these are the technologies that you want to learn. So you need to learn AI, you need to learn 5G, you need to learn blockchain, NFTs, non-fungible tokens, and of course the devices, no, XRs, the devices that you need to be in the metaverse. Okay, good. So next one is I hope you have some questions also, no? So please go to the chat box and type your questions. So let's talk about value chain. So value chain meaning ano ba yung kailangan mo for you to fully utilized, no? The metaverse. So we have two categories. The consumers, tayo ito. So ito tayo yung mga gumagamit ng mga ng metaverse. And then there's also the enterprises, no? The enterprises are those who supports the metaverse. These are the enterprises who are building the metaverses. So I'll just focus dun sa consumers. So sa XR devices, of course may mga dito, may mga made in China na rin dito, no? So we have Meta, of course. We have Google and Apple. And then you also need connectivity. And then you need the 3D platforms for you to develop, for you to to play around. And then you have the metaverse platforms where you actually use them to experience sa yung offerings ni metaverse. Okay? So connectivity, we're putting here yung mga telecommunications outside the Philippines, but in Manila, in the Philippines, we have Globe, we have PLDT and Smart, no? And of course, you have Dito. And then for you to create something, to start building applications in the metaverse, ito yung kailangan mo, yung 3D platforms. Kasi you need to di ba, you need to build parang bahay mo lang. So you need to build yung sala mo, you need to build yung mga, for example lang yung mga kwarto mo. So this is a framework where you start building ano yung gusto mong ilagay sa metaverse. And then lastly, these are the available platforms that we have right now. So maybe you can if you're not still or if you don't know any of this, maybe please start checking it in the Google, no, in the internet, and you can see how beautiful, how immersive these platforms are. Okay, so and then the enterprises. So I'm not gonna discuss this one. Once you graduate, once you start looking for work, maybe you can take this as reference, no, for you to to work and learn metaverses. All right, so let's talk about what you need to wear, no? When you want to be in the metaverse. So there are some head-mounted devices. So you have the Oculus, which is the very common devices that you can see in the market right now. Sa baba, meron kang mga devices, no, for augmented reality, meron kang devices for virtual reality and mixed reality. So
Sir Jonathan. Na-lag off yata si Sir Jonathan.
Okay. Okay. I've messaged him. Looks like we lost him.
While we are waiting for Sir Jonathan, Sir Michael. First time kong marinig itong metaverse, no? Sir Jonathan, Sir Michael Ilaw, and Sir Michael Benzi, no? Familiar ka ba, Sir Michael Benzi, sa metaverse? Hindi pa. Nakamute ka, sir. Nakamute ka.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Ayan. Okay. Yes.
Okay,
You're back.
Yes.
Thank you.
Back.
Okay, so meron siguro lab na lab ako gusto akong i-kick out. Just joking. So I'm gonna share again my screen.
Hello, everyone. Hello, dear participants. Please turn off your audio. We have Sir Jonathan speaking. So we will appreciate if you can turn off your audio. Thank you very much. Paki-off lang po ang audio. Ayan.
Okay.
Okay. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Okay, sige, while I'm launching my screen here, I was talking about the devices, no? The devices that we need for us to experience the metaverse. So I shared a while back the Oculus, which is the most commonly used devices, and of course we have the augmented reality as well, the virtual reality and the mixed reality tools or devices that we need for us to experience the metaverse. Um, but my Teams is also not working properly here. So give me one more minute for it to be launched. But yeah, where was I? So devices. So meaning these devices right now they are available no in the market. The what the manufacturers of these devices, they right now they are majority coming from Meta, from Google, and from Microsoft also, right? And maybe in the next few weeks or few months from now, we have more of these devices para we can definitely experience no yung mga ano natin yung mga metaverses that's available for us in the market. Okay, I'm sharing my screen now. Let me know if you can see it. Okay na? Okay, good. All right, so moving on. So, meron din tayong mga wearables. No, hindi lang yung nasa ulo natin, nasa yung mga headsets natin, but meron din tayong mga wearables. So, meron si Meta, meron siya Control Labs na ginagawa nila is to test itong mga smart wearables. So, it feels like tawag ito, it feels like you're in the real world also. So, yung for example, yung mga neural interfaces mo, yung wrist-based, so it can read, no? Yung mga pulse mo, it can read yung mga vitals mo if you're going to use it. Yung it can also be used for click, scroll, select, no? So you don't need a mouse. So you can just use your tawag ito, your hands para you can click, you can select, and you can scroll. Also for the speed typing. So no need for a anong tawag ito, for a keyboard. So you can just use your hand, no? And you can interact with objects. So remember the one that we just where they can simulate, where they can use it to simulate what you're doing in the real world to the metaverse, to the virtual world. And we also have the B-Haptics and Verizon, where they're also doing developing their own set of devices. So, di ba? Masyado siyang modern, no, in our world right now. But in the other, in globally, no, in other countries,
Nawala uli si Sir John.
Let me.
Error.
Okay. He will sir, I already message Sir John. So
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, we can.
Okay. Yeah, naputol talaga eh. So, apologies for that one. Okay, let me know if you can again see my screen.
Yeah, we can. We can see it now.
Okay, we can. Okay, good.
John.
So 3D platforms. So now we talked about yung mga wearables, no? Now we talk about paano ba ako gumawa ng mga applications sa ano sa metaverse. So these are the platforms and the formats for you to start building applications in the metaverse. So for the students na who are into who gustong mag-focus sa metaverse, then these are the technologies, the platforms that you need to learn. So Unity, this is used to build the environment. So if you're a gamer, you may know that you may have experience already some of these environments. So Unity is the platform. So you can go to Unity and start building your own environment, right? So you have the Unreal engine from Sony. You have the Omniverse, no, from Nvidia, and then Maya from Autodesk. And then you also need to come up with your own avatars, no? Kailangan mo, 'di ba? Pag nasa metaverse, 'di ba pag nag-game ka, you want to create your own avatars. So ito yung mga holograms na pwede nating gawin sa metaverse. So you can they have the standards already. So you can just plug and play. Ano yung gusto mong magiging holograms, no? In terms of yourself and in terms of yung mga clothings, no? Yung mga paano mag-move yung mga clothings and yung mga virtual spaces mo. And then you have, of course, you have the avatars. I think lahat tayo kung sino yung nag-games na right now. And also sa mga social media, di ba? You can upload your avatars. So this is the good thing about metaverse is you can create your own avatars and you can be whatever you want in when you are in the metaverse. Okay, so for those people now who wants to be developers, who wants to to make a difference in the metaverse, these are the platforms, these are the standards, and that you want to learn if you want to be passionate in the metaverse. Good. Okay, so these are some of the examples, no? When I went to Israel, we invited people from the Board of Investments and DTI, and we let them experience what's metaverse in our company. So here you see, di nila alam yung ginagawa namin sa labas, no? As long as they are wearing the HoloLens, they are in the virtual world already, and they are immersed, no? On what's happening in the virtual world. So this is how metaverse impacts the people. It impacts how we think, and it also impacts how we feel. Good. So I'm very I'm very happy na every slide na ipo-present natin, meron palaging nag-heart, so meron palaging nag-thumbs up. So please continue doing it because continuing to do it, meaning you understand, you learn something out of this session. Okay? So Metaverse is still in its infant stage. So naka-diaper pa lang siya actually now, no? So it's still a long way to go, but the key principle, no? The key principles are there. It should be immersive again. It should be collaborative, interoperable, persistent, and decentralized. Now, again, I want you to look at the technologies at the bottom, no? Because ito yung mga technologies na kailangan yung matutunan. Diba? So, if you want to learn something, you need to also know ano ba yung mga kailangan matutunan. Anong mga skills kailangan mayroon ako for me to be effective, no? For me to really experience an enriching experience, no, in the metaverse. So again, you need to have the technologies you need to learn yung mga XR technologies, yung mga devices kanina, AI, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. These are the two big trends, no, that we're seeing in the market right now. So a lot of people, a lot of students, they're also now learning AI and ML. Of course, 5G and fiber also. Of course, if you are employed, no, for example, kay Amdocs, then the 5G and fiber is one of the skills, no, that we offer to students. Of course, cloud. So in the past, you've already attended some cloud sessions. So it's also critical that you learn the cloud platform. Of course, Edge, IoT. So these are the Internet of Things. So ito yung mga sensors, ito yung mga devices that ensures that communication between things works flawlessly. Okay, and of course, blockchain. So blockchain is well known for ano sa blockchain, crypto, no, cryptocurrencies. That is where the decentralized applications are being built. And of course, the non-fungible token. So if you're in the metaverse, pag gusto mo magbenta ng something, no, like ano ba, yung mga collectibles, yung mga creative artists, no, na gusto nila magbenta sa metaverse, and of course yung mga songs, yung mga kanta, no, and other artistic materials or offerings, pag binebenta mo yan sa metaverse, you normally package it like an NFTs, no, non-fungible tokens. So that is what you'll be selling, no, and also buying in the metaverse. Okay, and so very important tong itong slide na ito, kasi it will give you an idea what are the key principles, what are the technologies that I need, and what are the key features, no, that I want to see in the metaverses. And these are just some of the companies that are using metaverse, using the metaverse platforms. Okay, so just an example. So Decentraland. Sa Decentraland, you are it's a big metaverse where you can play, you can meet friends, where you can also be what you want to be, no? And there are some concerts you can buy. What else? You can buy products from Nike, from Samsung, from Coca-Cola as well. And may mga bahay din doon, may mga lupa din doon. Na for those of you na kagaya ko na before I don't have any properties, di ba? Wala kami mga lupa. If you want to own a land, no? Then you may want to reconsider buying lands in the metaverse. Meron din study, no, in the US about owning lands, owning homes, and they sent this survey to the teenagers, no, the kids, the college students, same as you. So they sent the survey kung ano yung gusto ng mga kung anong gusto ng mga population na ito when it comes to pamana, di ba? So what do you want your families, no, your parents to give you once they moved out of this world? At alam niyo ba kung ano yung sabi nila? Ano yung result? Sa result, ang gusto ng mga kabataan, no? Kasama na kayo. Ayan, may nag-mute sa akin. So, asan na ba ako? So, yung survey result, no? Yung nung ginawa nila ito, alam nyo ba kung ano yung sabi ng mga kabataan? Anong tawag nito? Anong gusto nilang pamana sa kanila? Can I see some ano? Sino ano sa tingin niyo? Can I see some answers in the chat box? Ano sa tingin niyo yung result ng ano? Nung survey na ginawa ni US when it comes to ano yung pamana na gusto ng mga kabataan? Pwede ko ba makita dito? Let me see. Okay, so hindi ko nakikita dito sa
Yan,
kayamanan.
Sir Jonathan, yan. Bitcoin,
Bitcoin.
kayamanan, dollar, property, land. Ayan.
Okay. All right. Good. Si si Ramos A, no, hindi ko maano yung ano niya. Tama. lupa at bahay. Pero hindi lupa at bahay dito sa sa mundo. Lupa at bahay sa metaverse. Ganun ka passionate yung mga kabataan natin right now when it comes to metaverse. So hindi na yung mga lupa natin diyan sa Nueva Ecija, yung mga farms. Sir Joel, yung mga farms natin, yung mga agricultural lots natin diyan, hindi ayaw na ng mga kabataan yan. Yung gusto nila right now is a property in the metaverse. So that is how the choices, no, of the young generation evolve over time in such a way that now they are wanting to have some properties in the metaverse. Okay, so that is how the metaverse is impacting the people already. Si Howard, no, from Cabanatuan. When we are in siguro alam nyo to si Howard, no? So for those people who are very active in AXI, tawag ito. So during the pandemic, si Howard, our one of the residents from Cabanatuan City, he earned, no, between 300 to 400 USD per month just playing AXI. So this is also one way of experiencing, no, the metaverse. So in the metaverse right now, hindi lang siya social, hindi lang siya pwede ka bumili ng kung ano-ano, hindi lang siya immersive, pwede ka rin kumita. Right? So when you go into the metaverse, you can also earn, no, by playing. So Axie is one of those games where you have a play to earn, no, a play to earn model. So in the Decentraland also you can also do that. Kaya it's one way of having an income by going to the metaverse. It's also one option, no, for you to build your career in the metaverse. Okay, and so for Amdocs, we have the digital twins. So imagine, no, pag pupunta ka doon for those of you na pupunta sa stores ni Globe, ni PLDT, ni Smart, when you apply for something or when you buy something, no, Globe, yung load for your Globe accounts or for your PLDT Smart or for Dito, for example, what you normally see is a person, no, merong magandang nagbabantay, no, or pogi na nagbabantay. So what other companies, no, are doing is that meron na silang digital twins. So you don't need to go to the physical store, but instead you can just go to the metaverse. No, alam ba, maglo-load ako ng Globe, for example. I can just go to the Globe metaverse and I can order something, I can pay my bills, I can load, no, may accounts. So ganun na siya and it gives you the same experience, no? It gives you the same fulfillment when you go to this digital twins metaverse. So it's happening now, and it will definitely impact our lives moving forward. So I have here Team Brazil and Telefonica Spain. We also have the Vodafone Germany. So ito yung mga fitness. So for those of you who loves to maintain a healthy lifestyle, si Vodafone Germany, meron siyang AR-based na virtual personal fitness. So you can experience also the personal fitness experience in the metaverse, right? And then again, may mga gamers tayo dito. So yung Ifland, so ito yung play to earn na model. So si Korea, so si Korea hindi lang pang drama, tag ito, pang telenovela, pwede rin siyang ang dami rin niyang nagagawang maganda sa mundo, and one of them is yung metaverse, no, yung Ifland. And oh, by the way, the positions, the jobs that will be available will start also to pop up, no, in the next few months. And for example, this chief metaverse officer role, hindi to siya available previously. So wala naman tayong ganitong role eh. Wala naman tayong ganitong job, di ba? Pag sinabi mo sa mga parents mo, pag sinabi mo sa mga kuya mo, sa mga lolo mo, lola mo, sa mama at saka sa papa mo, ang sasabihin nila, ano bang gusto mo paglaki mo? Di ba? Isasabihin mo palagi, nurse para maka-abroad, or engineer para makagawa ng gusali at saka ayan, na-mute na naman ako. So, ano ba yan? Engineer, para gumawa ka ng gusali at saka tag ito, mga kalsada, right? Dati wala naman tayong So now you have new roles, you have new jobs, you have new career in the metaverse. Okay, so that is how opportunities will rise out of the metaverse. Okay, and in the Philippines right now, meron tayong Globe sa virtual hangout metaverse, no? This is the first metaverse platform that delivers phygital experience, bringing together the physical and digital world to give subscribers, a new way to interact with their favorite communities powered by Globe. So for those of you who's using Globe, please go to this site and experience our very own metaverse platform powered by Globe. So you can create avatars, you can chat, and I think last year they did yung first concert in the metaverse. One of the bands dito sa Philippines, they had their own concert in the metaverse. Okay, so what I'm saying here, what I'm presenting to you is a new opportunity, especially for college students, and of course the faculty from DepEd and the rest of the schools here, to start looking at metaverse, because metaverse will have a very big impact in our lives. It will generate a lot of money, a lot of money for those who wants to do business in the metaverse, who also wants to work in the metaverse, and also to provide opportunities sa not just for people who wants to work, but also people who wants to do business in the metaverse. So my challenge to you now is two things. You can either be an observer, so you can just go there, experience it, and have an amazing immersive experience in the metaverse. That's one. Or the second one, which I really want you to think about, which I really want you to be passionate about, is to make an impact to the metaverse. Meaning, you want to be a developer, you want to to make changes in the metaverse, you want to bring new business to the metaverse, you will own businesses in the metaverse, and you start learning some skills para you can start working in the metaverse. So this is you as the spotlight, this is you as moving how we want to make a difference, no, in the in the metaverse. So similar as, you know, if you're watching the basketball, di ba? Pag nanonood kayo ng FIBA or liga sa ano ninyo, sa mga barangay ninyo, dalawa lang yung taong pumupunta doon eh. Isa yung nanonood, which is he cheers or she cheers, no? He supports yung team niya. Yung pangalawa is yung player mismo. So siya yung nag-score, siya yung nag-ensure na mananalo sila. So same in metaverse, I want you to be the player. I want you to to make a difference, to really enjoy, no? To really enjoy the metaverse by creating something in the metaverse and offering something, no, to the people in the metaverse. So that is our passion. That is Amdocs wants to be to really help you you guys to have a better understanding on the metaverse, and for you to leverage what's available in the metaverse, and for you to experience it as well, no? So that few years from now, you will be the one who's going to teach. You will be the one who's going to be an ambassador of the metaverse, and make this place, make this world, no, a better place for our for the people that will come after us. This is my last slide, and I hope that you've learned a lot. I hope that you had a great 1 hour with me, and I hope that you can be one of the, you know, stars, no, ambassadors in the metaverse in the next few months and few years. And I'm looking forward. I'm very confident that the Filipino people will see this as an opportunity for them to grow in the metaverse. Will see this as an opportunity for them to have another option, no? Not just going to companies to work there or to businesses, but also start leveraging the metaverse, because this is where we will be going in the next few years. Thank you, and I really enjoyed having this conversation, and looking forward to the Q&A. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sir Jonathan Ramos. We appreciate you taking us to the Beyond Universe session. Big thanks po, sir. And I am sure that we have a lot of questions. So the open forum to be facilitated by Sir Joel Cruz. Sir Joel?
Okay, may question dito eh. Talking about business purposes po, is it a good idea to invest in the metaverse, consider that this is an online platform? Okay, very good question. Actually, so what I just shared that this is in the infancy stage, no? So may diaper pa ito. So meaning very new in the market, and we have risks as well. So in the business world, there are risks, and there are also the bigger the risks, the bigger the return, right? But what I'm saying is that because this is a new platform, not everyone is fully invested, no, in the metaverse. And I just want to give an example about Bitcoin, no? For those of you who are in the crypto world, Bitcoin 2009, how much is it? It's like less than $1. So it's less than in our peso right now, pagkano siya? 56 is to $1. So it's less than $1. So it's less than 56 pesos. That was in 2009. So Bitcoin at that time was also a baby. So may diaper din siya, di ba? Fast forward now, 2023. How much is Bitcoin? It's like 29,000, no, to 30,000 USD. So that is millions already. So from peso to millions, no, in like in 23, in 14 years. So that is how big the rewards, no? The reward is for Bitcoin for those who took the risks, no, in 2009. So same with the business, no? For startups, so the risk is there. So meaning uh eh, the risk that you're looking at is very high. So you need to really carefully weigh in the investment that you'll be putting in for these types of investments. Okay, so that's the short answer. It's a very oh no, it's very right now. It's blooming. It's there's a lot of big opportunities in the metaverse. People are are riding this trend, and we have already a lot of investments, or a lot of investors also in the metaverse right now. I hope that I answered your question. Okay. So any more questions?
Sir John, there's a lot of questions on the chat box.
Okay,
Sabi rito, is learning metaverse, how metaverses work can be considered as a skill when applying for work in the future? What type of jobs are they offering that's not related to gaming?
Okay, good. So metaverse, also metaverse, virtual world. So meaning it replicates what we are doing in the real world right now, right? So the jobs that will be there will also be similar to what we're doing, but we are doing it in the metaverse. Okay, so like if you're a teacher right now, you may teach in the schools, right? So in a classroom setup, uh, yeah, in the metaverse, the difference is that instead of classroom, there will still be classroom, but the setup is different. You can be who you want to be. So you have the avatars. So maybe when we'll be having a class with Sir Joel may have a different avatar. Myself, I will have a different avatar, and I may be like floating, and Sir Joel may also be like doing something else. So that is how immersive. That is how I don't know the possibilities are endless in the metaverse. So yeah, will the same roles, the same positions, we may also will also be applied, no, in the metaverse. That's one. And second one is for the develop for the artist, for the things that you want to sell, no, in the metaverse. Those are also new positions. Those are new roles that were not available previous when metaverse was not there. Imagine that the chief metaverse officer is not there previous years, like 2 years ago, but now we have those roles already. Second one is of course, the content creators, no? So these are the movers of the metaverse. So these are the roles that you will be looking at in the future. But it may not be similar to what you're doing now. Instead, you're doing it in the metaverse, and you have the developers, you have the of course you have the product engineers, and that will be doing their work in the metaverse, and then you have the content creators, no, you have the artists, and you'll have some businesses will be available in the metaverse, and of course as what I mentioned, majority of the young generations now, they wanted to have a property in the metaverse, so they can use it. They can use it for rentals. They can they can use it to hold the events. So anything is possible. Anything is possible in the metaverse. Did I answer the
Okay,
question?
thank you very much, Sir John. I think I need to upgrade my skills by learning metaverse. You know? Is it not yet too
Yeah, yeah.
late, Sir Jonathan, to learn metaverse? I'm already 52.
Yeah. So the good thing about metaverse is that it's a virtual world, right? So whatever you are doing now is applicable to the metaverse. It's just that the adoption, no, the adoption of the technology, the adoption of the platform, of the concepts, you need to really invest effort, no. So you need to invest in yourself. So you need to first thing, no? First thing, when I started in the metaverse, I really don't know about metaverse, and I really cannot understand why you need to build a virtual world, right? Why you need to build a virtual world, uh, and right. So the first step that I did was I went to the metaverse, right? I went to Decentraland, I went to Sandbox, just experience what it's like to be in the metaverse, and it's very immersive, and that's why I started learning. Okay, what are the underlying technologies? What are the underlying concepts that builds this very impressive metaverse? So for people now who are like Sir Joel said, that we are already in our space where we're very comfortable about what we're doing. Going to the metaverse, first step is to be in the metaverse, right? So to start experiencing what's available in the metaverse, and then from there you start planning. Okay, should I be just a user of the metaverse, or do I need to like upskill myself for me to further improve myself and make a difference in the metaverse?
All right, thank you very much, Sir John. So there's no age limit for metaverse, right?
Yeah, no age limit. In fact, no. When was the last time? I think 2 months back when I went to the Central Land and I meet new friends there, right? And I uh, normally I meet like 13.
Na-mute ka uli, sir.
Yeah, what I'm saying is normally I met like 15 years old, teenagers, like less than 20 years old. But last time when I went there, I met like people in their 40s, people in their 50s, and their 60s also. So I was like, oh, okay. So this is not just for the younger generations, but this is for those who are also in a situation, no, where you're very comfortable already in your life. So yeah, this is for everyone.
Okay. The reason why I asked, because I also handle senior citizen and PWD programs in the Department of Education. So I invite Sir Jonathan to discuss metaverse to our senior citizens, or to our PWD employees. No? Okay. Uh,
So Sir Joel, you're on mute.
Muted. Laging ganun yata pag nagsasalita, namumute no?
Yeah, when you're talking great things, someone will mute you.
Anyway, so there's a lot of questions here. I think we'll just accommodate the last question. Okay po. What's the
Sir
biggest
Joel.
problem? What's the biggest problem, or I think or ano to, a challenge in metaverse?
Okay, so okay, so for the metaverse right now, since it's a very new concept, it's a startup. One of the challenges, no, that we're looking at right now is the security of the first one is from a business point of view. Of course, it's the security of the investments, right? Because it's a very new one. So sorry, since it's a very new one, the policies, the standards, they are not yet that stable. The government's what they call this one, impact to the metaverse when it comes to the regulations, no, the legality of some of the activities there is also not yet finalized. So, well, of course, this is common, no, to all startups, to all new products and new platforms. So we are still maturing the processes. We're still maturing the government's linkages when it comes to the regulations, the data privacy as well. We are because there's a lot of metaverses already available, right? And and because it's in the virtual world, we are still not having a standard when it comes to the data privacy for users. Well, because it's both anyway, it's both a responsibility of the platform and also of the user. Maybe if a user is coming from the US or coming from those developed countries, they are very they're very particular in their data privacy in such a way that they only share what they want to share. They only share what they want other people to see. But for others, like for the Philippines, for example, where we don't have a very strong cybersecurity experience, data privacy is not that um, uh, effective. So sometimes, maybe sometimes, no, in the Philippines, we share more than we should share. So this is where the discrepancy will come in, right? So it's really about the education. It's really about educating also the people that once you're in the metaverse, you see a lot of people there coming from different countries, and your data may be also compromised. Another one is again a very new platform. So we also need to have a very strong infrastructure, no, when it comes to connectivity. So Philippines right now, I know that we are really the government is driving really the digital cities. They want to make sure that we have a very strong connectivity in the countryside. So once we achieve that connectivity requirements, then I think some of the concerns, no, related to response time, related to the your immersive experience will also be eliminated. So these are some the three big things that I'm looking at right that we're seeing in terms of the key challenges, no, and opportunity areas in the metaverse.
Thank you very much, Sir Jonathan. We still have lots of questions, but I need to forward those questions to you, Sir Jonathan, so you can answer them all. At this point,
Sure.
we'd like to thank you, Sir Jonathan, for this wonderful and very interesting topic on metaverse. Ma'am Michelle, I'll be presenting the certificates for Miss Katie and Sir Jonathan. Please do the honor to read it. Hindi ko kasi makikita kapag baka ma-off ako no? So I'll be presenting the certificates now. Okay. Okay, can you see it?
Yes, and you even spelled my last name right, which most people struggle with that. So this is lovely. I look forward to framing it and having it on my wall in New York City someday. Thank you.
Please,
Okay,
Ma'am Michelle,
congratulations,
please do the
Katie.
honor.
Okay po, allow me to read the text. Republic of the Philippines, Department of Education, Region 3, Central Luzon School Divisions of Nueva Ecija, present this to Miss Katie Pageant Cup Customer Experience Strategy and Digital Transformation Practice Director, Stellar Elements Amdocs, for her expertise in delivering a webinar lecture on contextual inquiry, how to design research to produce innovation in technology, as part of the Amdocs Digital Inclusion 2.0 Summit held on September 9, 2023 via MS Teams. Given this 9th day of September 2023 at Barangay Rizal, Santa Rosa, Nueva Ecija, signed Engineer Edgar C. Domingo, PhD, CESO5, School Division Superintendent.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Miss Katie. Okay, next.
Another certificate of
Thank you very much.
appreciation is awarded to Sir Jonathan Ramos, Site Lead and Corporate Program Director of Amdocs Philippines Incorporation, for his expertise in delivering a webinar lecture on Introduction to Metaverse as part
Hello, Miss Michelle.
Ma'am
You were
Michelle,
muted.
na-mute ko po.
Yan. Given this 9th day of September 2023, signed Engineer Edgar C. Domingo, PhD, CESO5, School Division Superintendent. Thank you so much po sa ating magagaling na speakers.
Jonathan. Hi, Jonathan.
Thank you, thank you.
Let's have the photo op po for the second session before the closing remarks. Sir Joel.
I'll be okay. Please turn on your camera so we can see each other and see your beautiful faces. Okay. Ready? 1, 2, and 3. Smile. Okay. I'll have this. Okay. At your end, maybe you can also have. Okay, ready? 1, 2, and 3. Smile. Let's have another. At your end, our dear students and participants, you may also have, you may do screenshot so we can have more pictures posted on Facebook. Okay.
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Joel, Sir Joel.
Yes, Sir Mike.
Sir, pwede po siguro i-share din po natin yung certificate from NUST.
Yes, I will. Okay, sige pa.
Yes, po. Thank you, sir.
Another certificates from NEST. I'll be sharing it now.
Republic of the Philippines, Nueva Ecija, University of Science and Technology, Cabanatuan City, Nueva Ecija, Philippines. Talavera of Nueva Ecija, University of Science and Technology, Talavera of Campus, and Nueva Ecija and University Training Department. This award this certificate of recognition to Ma'am Katie Payankoff for her outstanding presentation, invaluable insight, dedication, commitment in sharing knowledge and expertise during the Digital Inclusion 2.0 webinar entitled contextual inquiry in converting research to produce innovation in technology, given this 19th day of September 2023 at Nueva Ecija University of Science and Technology, Talavera of Campus, Talavera, Nueva Ecija. Okay, so signed by yours truly, the school administrator, Ma'am Marciana D.C. Soriano, Dr. Marlon Rufino, Director of Off-Campus Northern Nueva Ecija, and Dr. Johnny Imperia, Director, NUST Training Department. Thank you,
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
very much. Okay, another certificate for Sir Jonathan.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Katie.
Okay, another certificate. So is hereby awarded to Sir Jonathan Ramos for his outstanding presentation in valuable
Sir Benzi. Mute ka yata, Sir Benzi.
So again, so allow me to read again the citation. So certificate of recognition is hereby awarded to Sir Jonathan Ramos for his outstanding presentation, invaluable insights, dedication, commitment in sharing his knowledge and expertise during the Digital Inclusion 2.0 webinar entitled Introduction to Metaverse. So given this 9th day of September 2023 at the Nueva Ecija University of Science and Technology, Talavera of Campus, Talavera, Nueva Ecija, Philippines. So signed by the program head, yours truly, our school administrator, Ma'am Marciana D.C. Soriano, Director of Off-Campus Northern Nueva Ecija, Dr. Marlon V. Rupino, and the Director of the Training Department, Dr. John Ilperia. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Sir
you.
Michael.
Thank you, sir.
I saw Sir Dr. Jonil Peria. Sir, good morning. Sir Jonil.
Good morning, Sir Joel. Good morning, Sir Michael. Sir Benzi, good morning din po.
Yes.
Sir
So please
Marlon.
do the honor to present the evaluation to our for our two topics this morning.
Ay, sir, nakamute ka po.
Sige po, Sir Joel. I will send it po to the chat box. Thank you po.
Okay, thank you very much, Sir Jonil. Sir Jonil is our training director of NUST, Nueva Ecija University of Science and Technology System. Thank you very much, sir. Okay, Ma'am Michelle, you can have the closing remarks.
Thank you so much, po. Thank you so much, Sir Jonil. So as we come to the end of this remarkable webinar, we will be hearing a closing message or a closing remarks coming from a remarkable man who embodies the qualities of intelligence and responsibility. He is the director of the Northern Academic Campuses. Let us give a round of applause, a virtual applause to Dr. Marlon V. Rufino.
Thank you, Ma'am Michelle. Am I audible now?
Yes, po.
Yes, sir, but we cannot see you.
Thank you so much. So I'll be doing now the inspirational closing message instead of the inspirational message earlier. So this is now the inspirational closing. First of all, I'd just like to greet our dynamic and vibrant Division Superintendent of DepEd Nueva Ecija, Engineer Edgar C. Domingo, represented by Sir Hilario earlier, to the Program Director of Amdocs Philippines, Sir Michael Ilaw, and to the Training Director of NUST, Dr. Johnny T. Peria, to Sir Joel Cruz, the Senior Education Program Specialist of SOCMOB and Networking of DepEd Nueva Ecija, who also a faculty of NUST Talavera of Campus, to Sir Laverne Ladignon, the Education Communications Technology, I'm the Dean, of the Information Communication Technology of NUST, Dr. Arnold De La Cruz, to the administrators of the NEUST Northern Off Campuses who are offering information technology courses, Ma'am Marciano Soriano, Sir Abraham Pasqua, and Sir Rinaldo Domingo, to the program heads of NEUST and school heads of DepEd schools in Nueva Ecija and in the entire Philippines as well, also to our distinguished resource speakers for today, to all participants of this webinar from different campuses of NEUST and schools in DepEd, stakeholders, guests, and organizers, a wonderful and blessed day to all. Well, the president of the university is very much delighted and grateful of the partnership between NEUST, DepEd Nueva Ecija, and Amdocs Philippines. It is a very timely and relevant undertaking considering that this webinar will provide substantial knowledge and competencies to our instructors, teachers, and future professionals in IT, specifically in designing research to produce innovation in technology, and also the acquisition of knowledge in metaverse as well. Now, as we experiencing today, the emergence of different technologies like the fifth generation of cellular technology, the 5G, quantum computing, virtual reality, augmented reality, the blockchain, the AI, and many more. It makes the role of IT professionals become more challenging. So to cope up, we must stay
Marlon,
up
I
to
think you're
date on the
muted.
latest technologies. A need to be constantly learning about new technologies just to stay ahead of the curve. It is like attending conferences, just like we are doing this morning, reading IT publications, and taking other online courses. The IT landscape is constantly changing at a fast pace, so we, professionals and future professionals, need to be able to adapt to it and modify our ways of working. This requires us to be flexible and have a willingness to learn new things. Also, we need to be able to think outside the box and come up with new solutions and innovations. In addition to that, professionals must communicate effectively with both technical and not technical audiences. This requires us to be or to explain complex concepts concisely. Working independently to solve problems is often needed now. With this today's undertaking, the NEUST, DepEd, and Amdocs really provided an intervention to all what is being deemed to be relevant and necessary. With this, the University President, Ma'am Feliciana P. Jacoba, would like to extend her warmest greeting and gratitude to everyone who make this event possible in any way or another. So enjoy learning and continue to strive for excellence in IT and continue giving excellent service to our people. Have a blessed day, everyone, and good morning.
Thank you so much po. Thank you so much, Sir Marlon V. Ropino. Thank you for being with us today and always po. Maraming salamat po. Meron po ba tayong mga announcements and Sir Joel, Sir Michael? Bago tayo mag-end.
I think we lost Sir Joel. Sir Joel, are you there? Okay.
Okay.
Hindi na daw.
I just re-admitted him. Mukhang na-disconnect.
Okay, thank you very much to all the participants. I think so we had a successful and very insightful day. Thank you very much for Ma'am Katie and Sir Jonathan. Sir Michael, thank you din po. And Sir Jonil Peria, Ma'am Michelle Duco for hosting this activity. Thank you very much.